Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. And today I am super excited for another token teaser segment. Man, we have an incredible Layer 1 project that is getting ready to do a version 2, so it's somewhat unique. And talking about unique, we have one of the co-founders and CEO of the company waiting to come on stage, and let's just bring him up here. This is Unique, the co-founder and CEO of Nibiru. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's just get right into it. You know, I really love market cap gems or lower market cap gems, and I really love what you guys are doing in the crypto space. I actually mentioned this to you guys in the Telegram channel that I actually had an opportunity and participated a little bit, I believe, in your private sale way back in the day through the Gains platform. And so this is a project that I've actually heard about and known about for a while. It's nice to actually finally get you guys on the channel so that you can really share what you are up to with my community. So, you know, why don't you start off just by telling us a little bit about you? You know, how did you get involved in blockchain and, you know, cryptocurrency, and how did, you know, this project kind of come to fruition?
Yeah, so my intro to digital assets or crypto, besides just as a retail buyer, working in the space was just a warm referral from a buddy. So for background professionally before that was studied physics and machine learning at Columbia University. And then I started working as an AI engineer coming into like junior year of undergrad. So really just a large technical background, lots of software engineering, and worked on AI mostly. And then I was going to do some consulting for a project called Sommelier as a data scientist. So I was going to work on developing on-chain strategies, got really familiar with things like Uniswap and Aave and a little bit like the centralized exchange side. And then, yeah, that was kind of how I got into it. Really just like as a DeFi native person developing on-chain strategies. And then Nibiru came into fruition over the course of maybe the next 6 months following as essentially a goal to build a novel suite of dApps. We were looking to make something that gave innovations that you would have on top of a perps exchange that were not possible on a lot of tech stacks. So that drove us to using like the Cosmos SDK, and eventually, you know, a lot changes over the course of 2-3 years, but that was a lot of the initial motivation to building Nibiru, was essentially to make a suite of dApps. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. And so is that what you would kind of consider, you know, in crypto, one of the things that I love to hear about is the real world use case, the real world problem that the project is solving? Because, you know, so often in crypto, a lot of projects really don't have any real world utility. And so what did you guys see as a problem in the real world or in the marketplace that you're really looking to solve with, you know, Nibiru?
Yeah, so one I think is obviously as you make the chain faster and more scalable, you're working toward having cheaper and faster transactions. That allows you to have a lot more like product-based applications that instead of just sounding nice for like an infrastructure-based VC raise or something, are actually useful and can support consumer dApps. So that's one side of it. It's just make the chain faster and better able to scale, and so that it's future-proof to new types of apps. The other would be, I guess, in terms of BD efforts and then which projects you support in the ecosystem, really try to make sure that they're not just based on like speculative hype, but actually have like revenue-driven properties about them so that they'll stick around in the long term. So you really want to see applications that either net a ton in fees or make it are easy to understand for people, and basically just would work almost if you describe them as a Web 2 product. I think that's like a something that's becoming a lot more popular nowadays, but definitely projects like that will continue to stick around.
Right. So what do you really think kind of separates you from some of the other layer ones? I know that there are a lot of layer ones out there, but you guys seem to kind of have a unique approach with Nibiru. So what do you really feel like kind of is different about you compared to the other layer ones that people are used to?
Yeah, so one point would be that it's multi-VM and has pretty good support for using multiple VMs at the same time. So in our case, it's the chain started uh, about a year ago, or actually, yeah, about a year ago with the
Okay.
V1, and that was with Rust-based contracts in Wasm. Our V2 upgrade, which is something on mainnet beta, but launching pretty soon for public use, is adding Nibiru EVM, which is an EVM equivalent execution environment that makes it not just support all of the stuff like IBC and WASM contracts, but then also on top of that have ERC20 assets and then the full suite of products that you can deploy in Solidity. And on top of that, it's still highly performant and basically making it that you can cross the barrier both ways. So instead of it being that, so for example, if you're a project that was on, like Injective or Neutron or something else, now they're open. They can be opened up to the ecosystem of like the Ethereum world and the L2s, and it also works the other way too, like opening up EVM dApps to the IBC. So that's one vector, is a multi VM. The other side would just be a lot of the performance, like I touched on. So we already improved the baseline TPS up to like 40K of like legit TPS, not just like a fake one where you just report the number really high, and
Yep.
began working on improvements both on the consensus layer and then also on execution side. So the consensus ones are grouped under what we call Nibiru BFT, which essentially will improve, instead of just using like Tendermint in its default state, improve it to have like clustering, change the way that you do signatures so that you can have more throughput and performance, and then even have like block mempool lanes where you can separate more important transactions to run at the beginning of the block instead of at the end. So that would be like liquidations and Oracle updates, for example. And then on
Okay.
the execution side, there's parallel optimistic execution, one we call Nibiru adaptive execution, which is essentially similar to Aptos's block STM, if you're familiar with that. And those, again, all of those, long story short, are essentially ways to like reduce latency, scale to allow more transactions, and basically just make it, competitive with the likes of L2, Solana, etc.
Okay. And you were mentioning earlier that you guys launched about a year ago.
Yep. So that was the first version on mainnet would be March 12th of last year. So it's
Okay.
about a year old. Yeah.
Awesome. So you launched into some pretty good market conditions, but then you've done a great job of making it through this last year that was pretty tumultuous. So I definitely, give you props for that. And then one of the things that really excited me about your project is that you guys aren't resting on your laurels. You're not just sitting back and letting, V1, sit around and get stale. You're already working hard to, get, V2 out to the public. And, can you tell us a little bit more about V2 and when we can actually maybe expect that to, be something that we can start participating in?
Yeah. So it's the biggest thing right now would be signing up for it's like the WEN campaign, like WEDN, which we can share the link for, or it's right at the top of our Twitter page as well, as
Okay.
a tweet. And that's a campaign we're running on top of the public launch of this V2 upgrade. So right now so just for context, we already went through 2 audits and then brought it up to mainnet beta. So the chain has a version of V2 running on it, except a lot of dApps are deploying and we're setting up bridges and different, DEXs, things like that. And so basically after all that infrastructure is ready, we'll open up like a broader campaign. So the biggest thing, in terms of timeline, it's on like the order of weeks, not months. So pretty soon actually. And this is like an early access code too for people to participate and get a bonus rewards from that.
Awesome. I want to go ahead and post this in the chat right now. And then, folks, we have links to their Telegram and their Twitter, but we don't have this link in the description of the video yet, but we will. We'll get this link in the video of the description. And then, obviously, you can find it right here at the top of their Twitter page, which is, at Nibiru chain. You can see that here. So definitely go check them out on Twitter and then check out this marketing campaign. And I was really excited when you told me about this because there's so many great projects out there in the crypto space that don't understand that just being a great project isn't good enough if nobody knows about you. So I was excited to hear that you've got a big marketing campaign planned and that you're really going to be, focusing on getting the word out about this, this incredible project and the version 2.
Yeah, for sure. It's and that's going to continue to be a thing of just making sure we're talking about it enough. I'd say that's maybe one of the biggest challenges in the space now is there are so many projects, and so just having people know about you in the first place is its own like beast to tackle. But yeah, that campaign's really structured around making sure that we can attract like useful liquidity and usage, and not just mercenary capital where people come in and farm it and just leave. So that's one of like the big initiatives for us this year in particular.
Awesome, man. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to your community. One of the things that I look for when I do these interviews is I love to see how the person, the project's community that we're doing the interview for comes out and supports the video. And I can tell by looking in the chat, your crew has come out in full force. So thank you to all of the Nibiru family for coming out and supporting the live stream today. And I hope all of my community is, getting excited about what they are seeing too. So, with that, why don't we run over and show everybody the website a little bit? And is there anything in particular that you really want to highlight here on your website? This is Nibiru.fi. So you guys can all go visit the website here and check this all out after the stream also. But is there anything that you would really like for me to highlight while we're actually here on the website?
Yeah, I guess it would be two things. So obviously people will explore around a bit, just like clicking stuff. But two of the pages that are the most like updated the most frequently, I guess, are ecosystem on the top or on the black button there. And so that's basically not just meant to be a laundry list of projects, but actually show more of almost like a Steam style like page of all of the apps that are like live and usable, or soon to be coming in that are launching on top of the V2 in particular. So this one, like a lot of the projects that'll be a part of that campaign are on this page, and then we keep updating this. So that's something to look through for people. And then another would be, I guess, honestly, just exploring a bit through the docs if your community is interested in that sort of thing, to understand like more on like what makes us unique. But yeah.
Okay. And that would be, which tab would that be? Right here, the docs and the white paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of information there. Obviously, we couldn't do that on like a stream, but whatever people were curious about.
Awesome, guys. So that's where you can really go to, check everything out about the token, depending on how technical and, how deep you like to dive into a project. It's all right here. I threw the link into the chat so you can see it there. It'll also be in the description of the video. And so, what do you guys see for your long-term vision? I really like to find projects that are like the Microsofts, the Amazons, the Starbucks of the world that are going to be around, 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years from now. And so it feels like you guys are that type of a project where you're not here today, gone tomorrow. You've got a long-term vision. So, maybe you could speak to that just a little bit and, kind of give us an idea of what you envision for the future of the project.
Yeah. So in the shorter or to like medium term, like we touched on, it's get the V2 upgrade out, public launch, and then there's a lineup of apps that'll go up on it within the first 2 months, and then kick off a broader campaign. But following that, it's really a race to get as many as, at least in our opinionated stance from the BD side, a lot of structured products and yield or interest-bearing tokens where the yield comes from actual economic activity rather than from inflation. So we really like things like, tokenized T-bills, on-chain corporate credit, like collateralized loans, looping, anything that's like a user-facing vault where a retail user can just contribute to a pool and then like make some money, or maybe their assets are used to take a more complex position on like a centralized exchange or something. So of course, like standard DeFi will play a big role in that, right? But yeah, getting a lot of those, I think, is maybe a sort of a unique edge that we'll have over time just by prioritizing it. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. We talk a lot about, projects on the channel that have the potential to, appreciate capital gains wise, but we also really focus a lot here on the channel on creating income streams and creating, having your money go to work for you. So it's great to, create some wealth through capital gains, but then what do you do with it? So it sounds like Nibiru is actually going to provide some DeFi solutions and have ways for us that have extra funds laying around that we're trying to figure out how to use them. You guys are going to have some pathways to actually help us create some passive income. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly. Yep.
And how far out into the future do you foresee that potentially taking place?
Yeah, so there will be a few of the early ones, like in that initial V2 launch. So one is like looking to have syrup integrated so that people can just do yield on top of stable coins. That'll also be possible through an application called Psi or Psi.fun. So it's a perpetuals exchange product that a lot of the team members from Nibiru contributed to as well. And so that one will have, if you've ever done like contributing to the GLP pool, right, where you can do passive LPing there and make a pretty stable APY, that'll also be available pretty early. And then would mean that, essentially they wouldn't have to hold an underlying asset that's like as volatile. They can kind of just deposit in and make gains from that.
Awesome. This is maybe a little bit off topic, but I was curious, what is your opinion on, a lot of people are a little bit scared of DeFi because of the last, bull market and Voyager and Celsius and, some of the DeFi protocols out there just really not, taking care of the funds and doing, what was best on their clients' behalf. So do you have anything to say to that? And maybe, a little bit of how you guys have positioned yourself and what you're going to do to make sure that your clients feel comfortable, trusting you with their funds.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I guess you're talking about the trade-off between like hack risk, because you have like more code in the picture versus like things like FTX where it's not really the code, it's like the people managing it. So I think actually DeFi is the solution to a lot of those problems, right? So, or at least bringing it where, if you can bring the user experience where it's like the same or similar to a centralized exchange, but you can remove a lot of the human risk in terms of like mismanagement of capital, that's really like where crypto starts to make a lot of sense, I guess. So I think like, for example, let's say like the larger collapses that we have that happen over the past few years, a lot of them stem more from like mismanagement issues of like people making poor decisions more so than hacks actually, because the ecosystem's recovered pretty well or not been like phased much from hacks. Actually, it usually comes from like corruption, basically. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Just the reason that I brought that up is because I'm with you. The last place in the world I want to leave any of my money is in the bank. I'm a firm believer that the inflation rate is way outpacing any type of interest that you can earn through traditional finance. And so I really believe that decentralized finance is the future. and that's where the smart money is going to go. And so it's exciting for me to hear that you actually have those plans and that that's going to be a part of what you guys do moving forward. So fantastic. What else about the chain and the platform would you like to highlight while we're here today?
I guess it would really just range on like the interest of the audience. I can't see like the chat or questions, but would be fine answering those. But could also like dive into more of the like specifics about it. But yeah, we covered a lot already.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So folks, that all of you that are watching, feel free to ask some questions in the chat. We'll try to get to a few of those. And, if you don't mind, I guess, one of the things that we can do you mind if I pop over to CoinGecko and just kind of show them some of the numbers that attracted me to the project?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, folks, this is obviously an investing channel. So I do want to, throw this out right now, though, that this is not financial advice. Neither Unique nor I are financial advisors. And definitely my views are not Unique's views. As a founder and as a CEO of the company, he's focused on the tech. He's focused on the product. He's focused on creating a platform that is incredible. And he doesn't really care about the price, because he knows that the price will follow if they do what they need to do with the platform. So, I want to just make sure that anything that I say is not a representation of Unique. But one of the reasons that I was really excited to be sharing this with you guys now, of course, one of my cats decided he wanted to be YouTube famous here. So this is Simba. Now let's go and do something else other than crawl up into my lap. So one of the things that I love about this project is that it's sitting at a little over an $11 million market cap. So I'm always looking for asymmetrical risk in crypto. I'm always looking for an opportunity, the potential to invest in a company that is, sub $25 million market cap, that has potential and room to grow and become a dominating player in the industry. And I really love Nibiru's platform and their potential. And so, if you do like this token, you like what you're seeing today, you can also get this token all over the place. If you don't have access to any of these exchanges, then you're not a cryptocurrency investor. But you can get it on Bybit, you can get it on MEXC, you can get it on KuCoin. If you're a decentralized guy, you can get it right through the Osmosis ecosystem. So there's a lot of different places that you can grab this token. And one other thing that I really want to highlight is your all-time high here was at about 96 cents during the peak of the beginning of the bull market, when Bitcoin was running up to 73,000 last year, thanks to the exchange traded funds. And, some people might be a little nervous by this retracement back to a couple of cents. But folks, to me, that's just an opportunity. After being in crypto for the last 8 or 9 years, I've seen these types of retracements hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times with great projects. So don't let the fact that the price action hasn't been great over the last year. If you go look at almost any project across the board, it's very similar numbers. But to me, this really represents an opportunity to potentially get in on basically, the ground floor. You can see here that the all-time low was just a few days ago at 1.5 cents. It's sitting at, under 2 cents right now. And once again, like I said, you can buy this thing just about anywhere. So that's, when it comes to the investment side of things, that's all I really wanted to say myself, Unique. I know, like I said earlier, you have to be very careful when you're talking about this topic, but is there anything that you would like to add or subtract from what I just said?
I guess I wouldn't have advice in terms of like what to do with the token, but there is like more information on it on our like on the token specifically. There's like actual pages on it in the docs too. So those aren't always as well known, because sometimes I see people do like looking at like third-party sites for things like unlocks and all that, but we actually share all that in like the accurate info on the website. So yeah.
Beautiful. So I was just talking about that this morning on my microcap gem live stream, how it's important when you see a token, like for instance here, you've got a 11, going on 12 million market cap, but your fully diluted valuation is about 17.5 million. And that's partially because, as you can see here, folks, that, the circulating supply is a little bit different than the max supply. And so what Unique is saying is, if you go over here to this document white paper page, you can actually see the vesting schedule and see how those token unlocks are happening over the course of the next handful of months or next handful of years. And so that's always important when you're getting ready to evaluate a project and look at something. Go take a look at the tokenomics and check it all out, for yourself. Absolutely. So if we go back here to the main page, what is this build now? Is that more for institutions, and or would that be for the average retail investor, or what is the build now feature?
Yeah, so build now is just moving people to the developer hub or developer section of the docs, and so that has basically everything in addition to, so when you're building something like a chain, it's not just a chain. It's like you're building generally an indexer. Sometimes you work on other applications, work on a lot of tools for people to use. And so that basically just moves, oh, okay, I'm not a user, I'm a creator of other products on top. So that's just to help people get to that page.
Okay, perfect. So once again, I want to make sure that I'm leading people in the right direction. Of all of your socials, where are the places that you would like my community to connect with your community? Twitter, obviously, and Telegram. Do you like people to go to your Discord, or do you have a Discord group, or is it mostly just Twitter and Telegram?
Yeah, there's a Discord as well. So we do, and that's pretty active. We try to do as much of the content as possible on both platforms. But yeah, I would say Twitter and Discord are the two most common places that people go.
Okay, perfect. So it's all right here, guys. The website is here. The Twitter handle is here. The Telegram handle is here. The Discord handle is here. So definitely go, join up with the Nibiru community. Go get some more education on this incredible project. And, before we give away the $100 Unique, I just want to make sure, is there anything else that's really important for you, to share with my community, or just share with the world in general? A lot of people are going to end up watching this video. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you want to make sure we do talk about?
Sure. Yeah. On the topic of community, we do pretty regular spaces in AMAs. And so typically they'll have, we like to bring on guests of projects that are building on top of Nibiru as speakers as well. And we have one coming up on Friday. But yeah, those are recurring at about a 2-week pace, sometimes more. But yeah, I think if they're following the Twitter, they'll see a bunch of those spaces if they want to learn more about Nibiru.
Awesome. And then one of my guys, Dave Mathias, long-term viewer of the channel, had a quick question. How do you see the arbitration in this project? I'm not 1,000% sure what he means by that, but if you have an idea of what he might be talking about, would love to hear your view on that.
I'm not really sure what the question's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dave, make it a little bit more clear for us, Dave. What do you mean by how do you see the arbitration in this project? And then another Dave question is, which of the days and times for your AMAs, do you have a set schedule that they can find in your socials, or are they just, is it like every other Tuesday at noon, or do they kind of fluctuate on days and times?
Yeah, they fluctuate. But generally I find a lot of them are on Wednesday through Friday. Yeah.
Okay. So normally Wednesday through Friday. So Dave, the most important thing is go follow them on Twitter, get in their Discord and Telegram, and then I'm sure that they give a little bit of notice. Before they do their AMAs and do these things, they're gonna put it out to the public at least a handful of days ahead of time so that you can plan for it. The next question here, hey, Schnapp Crackle Pop, there's no such thing as a newbie question. So we appreciate you being here. But he says, is V2 going to be a new token? Like, is it going to be a NIBI 2?
No, it's the same token, but a lot changing on the capabilities for the blockchain that the token supports. And then also the introduction of like new products that also contribute to like buyback and burns. So it's not the creation of a new token, but a lot of like related new tokens will surface from, if that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So the NIBI token is going to stay, the tokenomics, everything that about the token is going to stay, solid, snap, crackle, pop. The only thing that they're doing is they're just adding layers on and improving the blockchain, improving the project, similar to the same way, an automobile manufacturer, might upgrade a car. They'll come out with a car in 2025, but by the time that car is, manufactured in 2030, there's been upgrades and changes and improvements. That's what they're doing here, with this project with version 2. Let me see if I got any more questions as I go down here. Let me see here. So is there opportunities for arbitrage on Nibiru? So I guess they're asking, is there enough price difference between some of the exchanges that it would create an arbitrage opportunity where you could buy it low on one exchange and sell it higher on another? I don't know if that's anything that you would know about or not.
Yeah, that's naturally going to happen just as you introduce more dexes. So like in the one case, like Astrovault is like a dex on there with a few of the assets supported already. But then as we get closer to essentially like Stargate bridge deployment, and then we have things like Circle and Tether, BTC and ETH, there will be arbitrage opportunities for that. There also, like the liquid staked version of the token, there's a thing there where essentially if you find that it's mispriced, you can buy it and then unstake it to get the NIBI that backs it. So people started doing arbitrage on that. And then I would also say, just for like regular, like other assets that aren't even related to NIBI, that'll be possible through kind of the perps as well. Like if you see it's mispriced or you think it should be different on the exchange, you could, like for BTC or Sol or ETH, you could essentially take a position there too. If you're in a like geographically located that you're allowed to use perps. So I think those will be all the arbitrage opportunities.
Cool. And then Dave asked again, what are the links to the socials? So I will share this one more time, Dave. Everything is right here in the description of this video. You can go to their website, their Twitter, their Telegram, and their Discord is all right at the very top of the description of this video. Let me see here. I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat. What do you think, Unique? Are you ready to give away $100?
Yep. Let's go.
Okay, awesome. Let's do it. So, folks, just a couple of housekeeping, things that I need to tell you is, A, you have to be present to win. So in order to win the giveaway, you do have to still be present. You can't have come in and typed something into the chat in the first 5 minutes and then been gone. So when we do draw your name for the winning, the winning people, you do have to let us know in the chat that you are still here. And so on that note, I do want to pop over here too and show so Gerald Ortiz, just said I'm here. But so Gerald, if he was one of the winners, Gerald is not a winner. We haven't drawn yet. But once we go into the chat here, I'm going to click on your profile and I'm going to go to your channel. That is going to bring up your about, your bio, and you can edit this bio, and what I'm going to have you do, we're going to give away $100 worth of USDT today on the Polygon network or the Binance Smart Chain network, whichever you prefer. So you're just going to change your about here. You're going to say Polygon or BSC, and then you're going to throw in your, your Trust wallet, your MetaMask, your Rabby, whatever wallet you use that you want to get the USDT sent to. And we're going to do 4 winners today of $25 each. And the way that we're going to do this to make sure that it's fair, that nobody is spamming and using multiple accounts, is we're going to use my trusty old StreamYard giveaway tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose the live stream here, which is the Nibiru live stream. And for about the next minute, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to type into the chat, I win, capital letters. Excuse me. I like my capital letters when I'm doing the giveaway. So just type I win into the chat, hashtag I win. And I'm seeing it's 12:35 and 55 seconds. So I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds or so to type in I win. Make sure that you're paying attention, that you're actually here listening to what we're talking about, that you're present. And then, so type in I win, and then we're going to draw 4 winners here in just a quick moment. Let me get my notebook ready to go so I can write you down. But once again, as long as you come into the chat very quickly and let us know that you are here, you won't have any trouble getting situated and making sure that you get your $25 in USDT. So it's been almost a minute. Let's go ahead and draw the first name. I'm hoping some people from your community win. I always love it when the community comes out strong and then they do some winning. So All Mad Han, congratulations. You are a winner. Please let us know in the chat that you are here. We're going to draw the second winner. Daniel Favor, congratulations. Thank you for being here. I noticed you in the chat. You were saying a lot of great things and pointing people in the right direction. So I always like it when somebody that is really a solid participant does some winning. So congratulations, Daniel Favor. And we have Oni. Okay. Sorry, Daniel. I should have made this clear. This is actually one of my team members, and I'll take care of him separate. But I love you, Daniel. I appreciate you being here on the channel, but you cannot win as a employee of the YouTube channel. So I'm going to draw another winner, but I'll do something special for you, Daniel. I appreciate you being here and supporting the channel. And actually, Daniel is the one that reached out to you guys originally, Unique, and made the introduction. So I'll make sure that he gets taken care of also, but I don't want him to take away from the drawing. So we're going to draw 2 more winners still. And we've got BB Alpha. BB Alpha, congratulations, you are a winner. And then our 4th winner is going to be SAR Sarth G Meta. I got it written down. I apologize if I mispronounced it. And then real quick before we go, Unique, I want to just run back over here and kind of make sure that everybody is in the chat, get their profile pulled up, and make sure that we've got everybody. So Daniel Favor, there is your homepage. We've got, we're looking for Sarth. We're looking for BB. Not seeing. There's BB. So BB, I've got your page pulled up. And so now we are looking for Sarth and Almadan. There's Almadan. welcome and congratulations. And then we've got, yep, I got you, BB. And then who's my last one here? What I got? Almaden, BB, Daniel, and then Sarth. Okay, so Sarth, G Meta, got your channel pulled up. So cool, guys. All of you are pulled up. Just go and fix your about page for me, and I will get that $100, $25 each sent over to you still this afternoon. And once again, just thank you all for being here. Oops. And what wallet? So I would prefer that you do an EVM wallet on the Polygon Matic or Binance Smart Chain. So it's going to be like an Ethereum based wallet, an OX wallet address on, but it's going to come to you on the Polygon network or the Binance Smart Chain network, whichever one you specify in your bio. So you see here, Sarth has his sole address here, but for this giveaway, we're doing USDT on Polygon or on Binance Smart Chain. So this address wouldn't work. You're going to want to put in an OX Ethereum based address for me, please. So with that, folks, I want to make sure that I'm respectful of Unique's time here. Appreciate you coming onto the channel so much. I definitely hope that we get an opportunity to be a part of that marketing campaign that you guys are going to be doing. Would love to have you back on the channel and would love to continue to share this project with my community.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for being here. I know how incredibly busy you are. I know you're probably putting 12, 16, 20-hour days in, getting ready to take advantage of what is hopefully a nice upswing in the market. None of us have crystal balls, but I'm still very much of the opinion that we've got a lot of great things that are going to happen in crypto over the next, the rest of this year. So I know that you're putting in the time. So thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. Each and every one of you that spent the last 45 minutes with us. We very much appreciate you. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you all in the next video.